Hello, beautiful people.
Are you ready to start?
Why not?
Let's roll.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Digital Activism. This is the very first episode in a long time, and I'm going to explain why. But first, I wanted to mention that I'm now doing video. I'm very excited. I just hit my table. I'm very excited for it to be video. So if you're just listening and you want to watch me do this podcast, check it out on YouTube. It's just Digital Activism on YouTube. And if it sounds a little funky, looks a little funky, bear with me. We're going to figure it out. I have a bunch of new equipment that I'm using right now, including this better microphone. However, some older equipment that um, isn't new, obviously, is acting a little funny. And so I'm hoping we can get to this first episode and then I'm going to try to figure out how to fix it. But I wanted to get this first episode done because it's about to be a very busy few days. And I've already recorded this episode multiple times, just audio, but I really want to do video. I For some reason, I don't know if I get bored or unmotivated recording just audio, so I decided why not do the video. And so we're gonna this will be the test. It's gonna get uploaded regardless, unless something terrible happens, but it's going to get uploaded. And it might not sound the best, but we're going to work on it. I've been talking to a couple of people who are better at tech than me, which is my boss and my cousin, and we are working on figuring out why my USB hub isn't working or properly. I'm gonna get a new one or get it fixed, something, I don't know. Anyway, why has it been so long since there's been an episode? And what have I been up to? Well, I graduated in May of 2024 and from college, and this podcast started out as my senior capstone project. And I had quite a few people tell me, don't quit the podcast, keep doing it. And they would tell me that, tell my random friends that, and my friends didn't know who they were, and I don't know who some of them were. But if that was you, hello, we're back and better than ever. I took a long break for multiple reasons. One, I tend to overwork myself, and I realized that in 2020 during COVID when I was forced to slow down because there was nothing to do. And then again, when I graduated, I was like, oh, I need to rest. Plus, I had some health issues and things going on last year that we will get in 2024 that we'll get into maybe this episode, maybe future episodes. I'm not sure. This one may be a little bit shorter again because possibly some audio issues. Either way, I had some heart issues, I had some personal family things going on, um, newly diagnosed with some anxiety stuff. So it really has been quite an eventful year up until this point. And everything kind of started in December of 2023, January 2024. So that's not been the best, but we're fine. And so I slowed down, took a break. I did absolutely nothing but lay in bed, relax, work my part time job, which I'll get into, and play video games. And it was great. But I really needed to start making content again. I got bored and I just wanted something to do. So we're back. I told myself 2025 was going to be the year I post consistently to social media. We're doing okay, starting out like advocating and stuff, and a lot has already went on in the 2 months of this year, in terms of disability rights and things like that, which I want to have a conversation about in a future episode. But until then, it's just been a lot. And so I knew this is the time I needed to come back and start advocating again because I love it. And I might have a small following on social media, but I think it's so important that those select people see my content and that hopefully, continues to grow from there. And a part of that is this podcast. And that's why I wanted to do video. And so I want to reintroduce myself in this video and continue on with this podcast. So to start out, like I said, I graduated college in May of 2024. I am 23 years old. I'll be 24 this year, and I use a power wheelchair full time. If you're on the video, you can kind of see it, the headrest behind me. and the control in the bottom corner. I have spinal muscular atrophy, and I can get into the treatment I do for this disability and my other chronic illnesses and stuff that go into that at a later time. But the overarching thing is the biggest thing: spinal muscular atrophy. I've always loved film and video, and when I learned later to be mass communications, that's what my degree is in. I have a minor in film studies. I graduated from Piedmont University, and I loved every second of it. I'm glad to be graduated though, so I can continue on with my life. And part of that is getting a job. And so I have a part time job with a local tech company. And I started out updating the website, and then I continued to do marketing. So, social media, the website, any kind of marketing material and branding. And now I do a little bit of IT security as well for our clients. So I kind of do it all. And I do that again part time. I go into the office 1 day a week. And other than that, I do some freelance stuff and create content like this. And my freelance stuff consists of building websites, social media, and video editing. Just starting out right now, it's mostly website building and updating and things like that. My passion and love has always been video editing, which I think is why I wanted this podcast to be video so bad. And if you see me looking over here, it's because I have my screen of myself, which sounds crazy, but I need to make sure everything's working and looking properly. And I guess the film nerd in me wants knows I need this shot. You got to be able to see what you're doing, and that's why I also am wearing these headphones so I can hear myself, which I'm still getting used to. And so anyway, so my passion, like I said, always been video editing. I've been doing it for almost 10 years at this point, and I want to get back into doing that. I love making short films. I write scripts a lot and stories, and I've done a couple documentaries and short films, one of which has won multiple awards, and I absolutely love it. And I want to get back into that eventually. One thing in the previous recording in this I did, let me pull it up right now, is I did my 2025 bingo card with my friends, and it's things I want to accomplish in 2025. So I'm going to read all but one of them off because one's a personal goal that I'm keeping to myself. So I want to read 12 plus books. I have not read one yet, but Friday I'm going to be in a waiting room all day long, and so I'm going to start reading one then, because I have one on my bookshelf I've wanted to read, and I've had it for way too long to have not read it. So we're going to read that one. Find 10 plus new artists that I love. So this is musical artists. I love music. It's a big part of my life, and so I'm always looking for new music. I love all kinds. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But my goal is to find at least 10 new artists I love in 2025. I also want to edit 5 client videos. I want to get back into video editing, like I mentioned, and I think a part of that is editing videos for clients. So I want to do at least 5 of those this year. Post at least 3 podcast episodes per month. Okay, January did not work. January was rough. February, I busy. It picked up like my freelance work picked up a lot very suddenly. I was not prepared for it. And also I realized I wanted to do video. And so this goal is going to start in March. Will I mark it off my bingo list? Who knows? But it is starting in March. At least 3 episodes. I'm not going to commit to weekly. Eventually I will, but I need to get used to balancing this part-time job with my freelance stuff with podcasting and social media and content creation. I want to sing karaoke, specifically in public. I've done it once or twice. Other times it's always been with my friends in my own house or in their dorm or apartment. I want to do it in public again. I want to do more hours at my part-time job, which it already has started to pick up, so I think I can officially mark that off. But if I get an official extension of my hours, that will be amazing. One social media post a week. Again, did not happen. I want to start that in March because it was happening great and perfect. Then I got sick for a month. From the very end of December into the end of January, I was super sick. And then I was starting a new anxiety medication in February, and balancing all that with work and everything didn't quite go what I planned 2025 was going to go so far. I want to figure out my heart issues. So they're mostly under control, but I still feel like there's something that isn't quite under control. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And so we're going to figure that out. I can go into the more of my heart issues and more health issue stuff and stuff going on in another episode. I also want to order new wheelchair. I found out that is not happening this year probably. I thought I'd had this one longer than I did, and you can only order them every 5 years. And apparently it hasn't been 5 years, and I thought it had. So it's only been four. However, a guy is coming out to look at my wheelchair to make it more comfortable. The whole reason I put this on here is because I've been having excruciating hip pain for over a year at this point. And I really do think it's make sure my weight loss and the seating in my chair and different things. So that's the whole reason I put this on here. So even if I don't mark that off, I'm hopefully getting the seating figured out. So that's a good thing. I want to pay off my credit card. This is very random. This one's a personal one, but I had to buy a new phone on my credit card and I'm still paying it off. I just want to be able to pay off more, like extra. So that's the goal. I want to go play bingo night somewhere. It's ironic that this is on my bingo card. I want to go play bingo somewhere. I live in a small town. The like American Legion Hall or whatever does bingo, and there's also bingo around here otherwise. And I want to go do that. I want to listen to new music when suggested. That doesn't make any sense to most people, but if you're one of my best friends, you know that if somebody recommends an album or a song to me, especially if it's an album or an artist, I have a really hard time listening to it because I feel like I want to do it on my terms and do it when I'm ready. And I will eventually listen to it. For example, Billie Eilish's new recent album. My friend is in love with it, and it's a really good album. But I just couldn't. When they wanted me to listen to it, I couldn't do it. I had to do it on my own, and then I did, and I loved it. And I listened to Sabrina's newest album, Short and Sweet, immediately. That's because I wanted to, and I did it before anybody else told me to. Tate McRae's newest album. Somebody told me to listen to it, like newest songs. They were releasing singles when she was releasing singles, and I couldn't do it because they recommended it. I don't know why, but then I love the songs. I love the album. So I'm making myself listen to it when someone suggests it to me. So drop your suggestions below. Go see 3 movies in theaters. I'm already at 2. I saw Nosferatu in theaters when it came out, and I saw Wicked a second time in theaters on the same day. It was like 6 or 7 hours of movie theaters. We did back to back Nosferatu and Wicked. So I'm at 1 to 2. I don't know if you count both of those, but there are some new ones that I cannot wait to see, and I will be going to movie theaters, I think, more than 3 times. So I don't think that's an issue. Try weird food collabs. By this, I mean like when Oreo did a brand deal with Coca Cola or a collab with Coca Cola last year. I never tried it, and I want to. Me and my friends want to do it together. Like all of us put it on our bingo cards. So we're gonna do that. The most recent one was Oreo and Post Malone's collab. We haven't done it, but it's still available, and we're going to. I want to clean out my closet. Like I've mentioned, lost some weight, and so a lot of my clothes are too big. Plus, I just have clothes I don't wear anymore from like high school and stuff. So I want to clean out my closet, donate it, sell it, whatever. I want to travel out of state, which I just got invited to one of my good friends' weddings in Tennessee. So I'll hopefully 99% sure I'll be going to that wedding. So that'll count as my travel out of state. Also, there's another wedding coming up that's out of state, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to it because it's a little too far, but we'll see. I want to visit thrift stores at least 12 times. I love thrifting and I want to get better about it. And so I've told myself I want to do visit thrift store at least 12 times, once a month. I don't think I've done it yet that I can remember, but I will be. There's plenty of them around here. I got it. Build at least 2 new Lego sets. This is just a personal one. I love building Lego sets. It helps with the dexterity and the fine motor skills in my hands. It's something to do with my friends, gives me something to do like a hobby. I only did two because they're expensive. Legos are so expensive, but I'm going to do it. I want to get a new keyboard and mouse. I already got a new mouse because my other one was messing up. The keyboard we're gonna hold out on because I bought new podcasting equipment and I'm broke. So we're gonna save that. Go to the Fox Theater. I want to go see at least one musical at the Fox Theater. I love musicals. Like I said, I've seen Wicked twice just in theaters. I want to go to the Fox Theater or a Fox Theater equivalent, so in another state or whatever. But I really want to go to the Fox Theater. I want to do the same bingo, so bingo 2026 with the same friends, Matt and Sophie, that I did it before. And if other people want to join, that'd be fun. I need to go on my phone and clean out my photos. I have so many. And lastly, I want to go swimming at least 3 times. I haven't been swimming in a pool since 2019 when I graduated high school and went on my senior trip. And it feels so good on my body. It's good exercise. And I just haven't done it since 2019. I need to go do it again. But now we have a membership somewhere where there is a pool. So I'm determined to go swimming way more than 3 times this year, but at least three. I can hear feedback in my micro or in my headset that sounds not great. I really hope the playback of this is good. We will see. I may be re-recording this again, but hopefully not. We're gonna hope that it is perfectly fine. And so this podcast, I'm not committing to weekly or anything like that. I do want it to be posted on Mondays. That is the goal. At least 3 times a month on Mondays. That is the goal. With this one going up the beginning of March. I hope to have a schedule soon. Once I get comfortable doing this, can figure out my schedule in terms of editing and recording, and once the audio and the video is all set in stone and works great, then we'll commit to a more regular schedule. The structure is probably also going to be different. Again, when I was doing this for my class, my senior capstone, I had to promote other people's radio shows or podcasts. Obviously, I don't have to do that anymore. I'm not going to be doing that anymore, of course. I don't have to have a guest every episode. I still want guests, but I don't have to have them every single episode like I did then. And I don't have to be as professional. As you can see, I feel like I'm dressed pretty casually, a tank top, a overshirt, and a hat, like pretty casual. I'm in my bedroom. You can see the mess on my bed. That is the boxes the podcast equipment came in, and one of my cubbyhole cubicles that I put all my electronic stuff in. I hope to have on guests. I will have on guests. I'm already talking to a couple people, and then the ending, I used to always do like a piece of good news. I still want to do that. May not be every episode. Like this episode, I probably won't have that. I just want to focus on what this podcast is going to sound and look like. And my piece of good news will be that my good news is that there is a feature film coming out on Apple TV called Radical, and it is about the disability justice movement and the sit in California that lasted for 20 something days. And it's a feature film from Apple, which is amazing. And it's all about disability rights and the movement. And I may or may not have submitted a video to be an extra. Will that video happen ever come to light on social media? Probably not. Will it happen in the film? Not likely, but I hope so. And like, again, it's from the same director and creator, I believe, as CODA, which stands for it's CODA, which stands for Child of Deaf Adult or Adults, which was a film on Netflix, I believe. And so from the same director, which is amazing. They want authentic representation of disability, so they're asking actually disabled individuals to be a part of the film, which is where I came across it. I got it sent to me in an email, and I submitted my video and audition to be an extra. Again, it's a long shot, but I really hope it works out. And either way, I'm very excited for this film and that it's happening and it's at a major company like Apple and like Apple TV Plus. That's just unheard of and amazing. I'm glad it's happening. So that's my good news. It's not at the end necessarily, but it's there. And let's see, the new intro, you can hear it. You heard it at the beginning. And I think it's pretty fun. Shout out to my best friend Sophie Haynes for being the other voice in it. And I edited it together. And if you're watching the YouTube channel and YouTube video form of this podcast, then you will see the intro that I did is probably very temporary. It looks pretty good considering I did it myself and I'm not an animator or anything like that in terms of doing intros like this. But I needed something and I'm balling on a budget here, so I could not pay anyone right now. So I made it myself. I think it looks pretty okay. Again, probably temporary, but that is okay. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how you think it sounds and looks. And let me know what you want to hear about. I have podcast ideas such as my weight loss, my um, anxiety diagnosis, um, what my wheelchair has been called, which is so fun. It may not be a whole episode on its own. We'll see. Um, I want to talk about things that are happening in terms of disability rights and disability justice right now, because a lot is happening in terms of politics and things like that. I want to bring on friends that I've met along the way that also have disabilities and chronic illnesses and talk about their mental health journeys, things like that. I want to talk about my personal journey. I kind of want to go through my schooling. I did that on my old podcast, which you can still listen to. It's still up on this like podcast feed. It was called Rolling Through Life. It was far back, so it was kind of my school, um, like my experience going to a public school in a small town, and then I've only done like one episode of that series. I want to do more, so I did my elementary school. I may redo that, or I may just pick back up in middle school, then high school, then go into a private liberal arts college, small one, and then so we'll talk about all that. I want to talk more in depth about the jobs I've had, what my future, what I want it to be, my dreams, everything like that. And yeah, that's really what this podcast is going to be. My experiences, other people's experiences, anything y'all want, really. So let me know if you have any ideas for content or episodes, and we'll make that happen. That may be it for this first episode. I know that it's very sporadic and random, maybe a little short. I'm not sure how long this was. It has been, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, so that's not bad. Again, I know this was chaotic and random and not structured, and I kind of paused and jumped all over the place, but that is because when it's my first one back and first time talking on camera in quite a long minute, and I'm trying out new equipment and stuff like that, and I really just want to give a little update of my life and what the future of this podcast is and what we can expect and what I want to do, and just a little snippet into my life and what's been going on. But again, I can go into more detail about anything, everything, nothing, whatever y'all want. And yeah, let me know what you want to hear about. And thank you for listening or watching now that I have the video. And again, go check it out on YouTube at Digital Activism, any podcast platform. Rate it, give it a thumbs up, comment, share it. It all helps. I want to make this a more substantial thing because there's not really any disability podcasts in the media or disability content in the media like there should be. And I want to change that. So please like, share, comment, all the things. Leave a rating. You're amazing. I love you. And I'll talk to you next time.